Hello and welcome into a new episode of Bleed Orange and Blue, an Illini fan podcast. I am your host, Ryan. Today we're going to go ahead and dive into football, which has had a lot of movement recently, of course, with Aaron Henry's departure at defensive coordinator. What that means next for the Illini as Brett leaves some subtle hints of waiting until after the Super Bowl, as well as a scheme change incoming. And another defensive coach on the way out, heading to the NFL himself. Terrance Jamison, our defensive line coach, is leaving for the Buffalo Bills for the same position. And we add on three late signees to this football recruiting class for 2026. What it means for the team, what it looks like, as we go ahead and dive into that on this episode of Bleed Orange and Blue, an Illini fan podcast. So let's go ahead and begin with the big move that we had Aaron Henry leave Illinois, as I'm sure you all know by now, off to Irish green pastures, heading over to Notre Dame, where he actually takes a demotion, becoming the co-defensive coordinator and the defensive backs coach there at Notre Dame. Obviously, we know Aaron's history coaching defense backs, doing a great job in that role. Sounds like Brett made a classy move, allowing him to find something and make that move, as well as lessen that buyout for him. So that was an obtainable option to go ahead and coach with a friend of his. That is the defensive coordinator there at Notre Dame. Um, Obviously, we all know the woes that Aaron Henry had at defensive coordinator. I really think that this gives him an opportunity to get back what he's great at, build some confidence, learn some different ideas, techniques, and schemes to maybe further himself along the road to get back in that defensive coordinator position at a later date in his career. Think he just wasn't aggressive enough. We had a bend-don't break defense for too long. We became too predictable on that defensive side of the ball and the calls and coverages, and never really pressured other teams the way we needed to in regards to sacks or turnovers. And do wish Aaron the best. Unless we cross paths, then I hope we beat him by a landslide. Now, on to other coaching news. We lose a big one here that was in the grumblings, but kind of surprised me with Aaron Henry's leaving, was Terrance Jamison um, taking a defensive line coach position with the Buffalo Bills. So him stepping up to the NFL, I think he'll do a great job there. I think he's got some young guys there to coach up, and great things ahead for Terrance. I think he's got great opportunity there to grow and learn. Obviously, with Jim Leonard being someone he's very familiar with to coach alongside. So good luck to him. Now, what does that mean? It means exactly what we saw in that portal. We lost so many defensive linemen. But was it just Terrance alone of him potentially leaving that led to that? Well, after hearing from Brett recently, doesn't sound like that's the case either. So Brett has gone ahead and said, we're changing our scheme up. We're going to be changing some things. You saw some guys we brought in the portal that are going to fit more alongside what we're trying to change to compared to what we had. Now, obviously, that means Brett has an idea of the type of coach he wants to bring in. He indicated that he wants play calling experience, something I think we all wanted in this next defensive coordinator role. But they know more about this scheme. Brett does not know this scheme like the individual he's looking at bringing in. Sounds like Brett already knows who he's going to bring into the role, but also sounds like they may be on one of these Super Bowl staffs because he said he wasn't going to be doing anything with that role until after the Super Bowl. That tells me he's bringing an NFL guy in to teach NFL schemes and for him to not only have someone he can trust to run that, but also learn it from as well so he can carry it forward. I think that's honestly a great pick by Brett. We don't know who it is. I'm sure he does or has a good idea, maybe between a couple guys, possibly, but only time will tell. I think this is a great position to put us in and put our players in because we've got three returning seniors coming to the defensive side of the ball that are our three best defenders with Juice Clark, with Miles Bailey, or, sorry, Matthew Bailey, and of course with Xavier Scott. Now, I think them coming in to an NFL experience with more NFL schemes next year is going to definitely excel them up their draft positions, give them that step up, that intelligence, that opportunity to really go fight for day one jobs. We can only hope this plays out well for those guys and where they stand with the NFL when the draft comes next year. Obviously, we wanted to do great things here at Illinois and lead us to a lot of wins this season. So definitely look forward to seeing this scheme, seeing who we have running that defense, and ultimately, I think this may lead Illinois to be more of a impactful team in regards to getting guys drafted and playing long term into recruiting here as well. Definitely very excited to hear all the things that we heard from Brett on that. Um, Now, another bit of coaching news. So we have officially hired our first replacement here. Obviously, we had someone promoted from the special team staff to special teams coordinator. You know, Brett always likes to promote within certain situations and opportunities, and definitely glad to hear that we have had that spot filled. But a big one here, in my opinion, because this has been a sore spot for us in overall talent and recruiting, and that is going to be the tight ends room. Jared Elliott comes in with great success at Ball State, New Mexico, most recently. Also coached at Western Illinois, so he knows the Illinois area. Is reunited with Christian Abney, who he coached at Ball State. Now looking to just hopefully make a big splash in recruiting and hope he can go out and show Jack Brown exactly why he needs to come learn from him in that tight end room here at Illinois. Jack Brown, a highly touted recruit, four-star tight end out of Missouri that has spent some visits with Illinois. Illinois is definitely in on him, going after him hard. I think this is exactly the type of tight end we need. And looking at Jared's previous success and coaching that tight end room and getting guys with great statistical results. Got a couple of guys with 500 plus receiving yards, multiple seasons. So definitely great to see that type of coach come in that room. I think someone that we really needed to jumpstart that room, make it a threat again, and also make a threat in recruiting as well. Now, Illinois, uh, not done with football news yet. We added not one late signee as Illinois has done the last few years. We added three. So we've got two receivers coming in. Jacob Harvey, who actually flipped his commitment from Illinois State, which he had just committed to recently, to Illinois after his official visit. I think this kid's got great upside. Was teammates with Braden Trimble, and did a great job as a receiver. I think he's kind of got a bigger version of a Hank Beatty potentially. I don't think he quite has the versatility. I don't know if he ever played quarterback like Hank Beatty did, but he definitely has some great length, very intelligent, reliable pass catcher from everything I've seen, and definitely look forward to see how he will play out in the long run here. Another one is going to be a speedy slot guy Leslie Mosley Jr. Out of Florida. Um, was a runner in the 100 and had a very good 100 time as well. So he's got some speed. He's got, that breakaway burst that we look for out of that slot and just adding more speed to that room and some additional depth. And do hope to see these guys develop and grow and maybe break into rotation in the next year or two. Last but not least, was actually the first late commitment we had here was Caden Considine. Now that last name may ring some bells because his dad was actually coached by Brett at Iowa. His dad, a safety at Iowa, who made his way to the NFL, ended up becoming a Super Bowl champion with the Baltimore Ravens. Um, so had a preferred walk-on offer from Iowa to carry on, but he ended up jumping on that offer from the Illini. As we know, Brett believes in DNA. He believes in family, and he definitely got that with this commitment. Definitely looking forward to what we hear from the off season. It looks like they're back into off season workouts. Those guys are in the gym. I'm seeing pictures and posts and all sorts of things. So definitely getting excited to see what comes of this football season. Obviously, we still have some portal depth that we're looking for. It sounds like Brett has some guys that he plans on announcing here sometime next week. So look forward to that news and see who we're bringing into this Illini family. And do hope that it leads to just more and more growth, talent, and winning. Um, Again, as Brett goes after those smart, dependable guys. And look forward to sharing all of that news with you, having those discussions. Again, please go ahead, subscribe, and put on that notification bell for any more content that I'm bringing out to you. I'm going to be bringing some more basketball content, of course, as we get more breaking news from football. Going to bring that to you as well. Do want to thank you, Bleeders, again, and hope you have a great weekend ahead. As always, ILL.